Kirk Cousins supports Focus on the Family, one of America's most anti-LGBTQ organizations. Kirk Cousins, the multi-year starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, recently appeared in a lengthy video talking about his journey as a Christian and expressing support for Focus on the Family, an organization that is rabidly anti-LGBTQ. Focus on the Family is well-funded and opposes same-sex marriage, supports professional therapy on issues of sexual orientation, as well as refusing to recognize transgender people, among other issues. Cousins recently engaged in a public conversation with Ken Windebank, Chief Operating Officer for Focus on the Family, in regard to his faith and his commitment to marriage, as well as other topics. Cousins' comments didn't specifically in the moment condemn transgender people or same-sex marriage, though his praise for the organization's teachings, which include very clear anti-LGBTQ policy, and other comments leave room for questions that he refused to answer this week. Both the Vikings and Cousins declined to answer Outsport's questions for this story. The Vikings, for their part, have established themselves as one of the most outwardly LGBTQ-inclusive teams in the NFL, with at least one publicly out employee, and various initiatives designed to explicitly support the LGBTQ community, including participation in Pride, a partnership with the local LGBTQ Flag Football League and other initiatives. As an organization, the Vikings, despite Cousins' support for Focus on the Family, remain supportive of the LGBTQ community. What is Focus on the Family? Focus on the Family is one of the most prominent anti-LGBTQ organizations in America, and it has been for quite some time. The organization approves of sex and marriage only between a man and a woman. The group also maintains that same-sex marriage is an anathema. Marriage is intended by God to be a thriving, lifelong relationship between a man and a woman enduring through trials, sickness, financial crises and emotional stresses, Focus on the Family says on their website. Marriage is intended by God to be a thriving, lifelong relationship between a man and a woman enduring through trials, sickness, financial crises and emotional stresses. Cousins affirmed his devotion to Christian teachings, even discussing his own marriage, though he did not mention same-sex marriage specifically. "I have been with my husband for over 20 years. In that time, our partnership has helped each of us endure struggles involving finances, romance, partnership, career, love, friendship, communication and so many other elements of any relationship. Yet Focus on the Family seems to say my marriage is all a fraud." That is the organization that Cousins publicly supports. Focus on the Family also seems to say transgender people either don't exist or are somehow choosing to be who they are. "We believe God created humans in His image, intentionally and immutably male and female, each bringing unique and complementary qualities to sexuality and relationships." The group's counseling for sexual identity concerns centers, for example, the idea that people with same-sex attraction face a concern. It seems to say that gay, lesbian and bisexual people are suffering, all while talking about sin and personal wrongdoing. Does Cousins think that I've committed a sin by having sex with my husband? Am I suffering? Again, we don't know. Several years ago, former New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees claimed he had no idea Focus on the Family was anti-LGBTQ when he publicly supported the organization. Millions of personal dollars, an NFL team infrastructure, as well as an agent and possibly a manager seemingly didn't tell Brees, and possibly Cousins, the anti-LGBTQ focus of the organization. Or maybe they did, and Cousins just didn't care enough about the LGBTQ community. A call to Focus on the Family. When Outsports called Focus on the Family's hotline this week, we were told by the person on the hotline that repenting from a gay lifestyle was a huge first step of courage, and that a huge first step of courage. Because, according to Focus on the Family, being gay is apparently the work of the devil. This is the organization that Cousins publicly supports. My relationship with my husband of 20 years is akin to the devil. Who is Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins was selected in the 4th round of the 2012 NFL Draft by Washington. In 2018, the Vikings signed Cousins as their starting quarterback. He has found success with the Vikings, as the team has finished at least .500 in 4 of the 5 seasons with Cousins as a starting quarterback. He's a 4-time Pro Bowl player and currently number 24 in all-time passing yards in the NFL. That's impressive. He also has a winning record as a quarterback, though he started only 4 NFL playoff games, posting a 1-3 record. In college, he led the Michigan State Spartans to 3 bowl games in his 3 years as a starter, including a Big Ten championship in 2010. He's currently on injured reserve with a torn Achilles tendon and not expected back on the field until 2024. What is Kirk Cousins' involvement with Focus on the Family? Outsports was alerted to Cousins' appearance with Focus on the Family by a Vikings fan. It doesn't matter how innocuous the content in the video is, the Vikings fan told Outsports. Focus on the Family has consistently pushed for abhorrent policies and to enshrine their views into American law. For the Vikings franchise quarterback to partner with them is shocking, disappointing, and runs counter to the image the Vikings have tried to project. It also runs counter to Cousins' public image, that of, all are welcome. Focus on the Family has built their political arm on trying to drive people they don't approve of out of American society. Thanks for watching NY Sports News. Stay tuned for more updates.